Hello and welcome to the Arena Sports Show. My name is Clauiee Grace Mpanza. Excited to bring you yet another exciting episode. We have a man who had multiple nicknames as he was growing up, from Tete Fly to Cheaper to what you might know now as Nanana, Take Me Home. It is Mike Ntombela who joins us today, and alongside him is my favorite influencer, Mahlatse Mphahlele. Mr. Take Me Home, so many nicknames.
So many, eh?
Talk to us about Tete Fly. I think that's one. Has to be from the top, and then we'll end with the best one that lasted for years.
Yeah, the Tete Fly was more when I was at Wits. The people who were supporting Wits at that time were the black guys were very few, man. So there were those who were working within our grounds and all that. So they would give us the nicknames, and they were very close to us because there were very few. So they gave it to me that I'm like a fly, you know, but the fly which hurts. Yes.
And then the one influencer we both want to know is
Nanana.
Take Me Home. How did that one come about?
Yeah, that's what I grew up with.
Oh, yes. Nanana is Mamelodi Sundowns. And they say it nicely in Mamelodi.
Oh, Aruna, we're not saying it handly, ne?
But it take me home. You know, like they make me appreciate that name a lot, because at that time, people can think when I'm this old, I don't like it anymore. Because I've grown up in terms of the body size and the age. But because the people there in Mamelodi made me feel at home, made me wanted in that team.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate it, and I keep it up to now.
All right. I did say that there's quite a lot. There's also Cheaper, and we'll get to, of course, then the rest of the conversation. But how then Cheaper also comes about. I remember you alluding to the fact that your first game going to watch him was against Morocco Swallows, the original Soweto derby. Talk to us about, you know, watching him play for the first time, that experience, and really that carrying that nickname and being convinced that, yeah, no, I have to take after this man.
Oh yeah, it was a game, Orlando Pirates against Morocco Swallows. But I was playing cutting razor in that game. Playing for a club in Snawane, Soweto, called Snawane Gunners. So my nickname, Cheaper, had always been, there was a guy who stayed in my street. He said his name was Piwe Mazibuko. And then he said to me, I play like, and I look like Percy Cheaper Muloy, Tebogo Muloy's father.
Yeah.
And I had gone to watch him in Rockville, because he used to play at times when they are not playing for Rockville Hungry Lion. So I saw something which I said, wow, this guy gives me this name. This is a powerful name, and I must make sure that I protect it, and I represent that name very well. So it was mainly at Snawane Gunners where they called me Cheaper Mambosh.
Influencer, I mean, when we're going back into time, you were a youngster when this man was balling and learning, of course, how to be the legend that he became at Mamelodi Sundowns. But talk to us about what you saw and what you remember from Mike.
I mean, obviously, as Mike is talking, there was a famous R&B song in the 90s and I think 2000s. He used to say, we're going to take you back into time.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no, I think with Mike, we are going back into time. I was still young. I think I must have seen your generation close to the end. My uncle used to take me to HMPJ Stadium.
Yes.
I used to watch football there as a young man, and I faintly remember most of the stuff.
Yes.
There was the stage 8 days of shoeshine and piano, Sundowns, you know, Chiefs coming there, Swallows coming there, the big teams Amazulu, Wheatbank Aces, Pushbacks, you know. During those days, most of the teams were strong, and I think the competition that was there at that time is what drew us to this football thing, and we're still here. But I think to have someone like you here is really, really quite a privilege and an honor.
Yeah.
And you are one of the people, a lot of people talk about this shoeshine and piano thing, but you are one of the people who really mastered it, and I guess we can talk about it as the show goes on. Yeah. But really, I'm happy that we've managed to convince you to come to the show. This is definitely one for the ages.
It definitely will be. On that note, let's find out what's been happening in your top stories.
The Warriors have been booted out of the CSA One Day Cup competition after they fell foul of Cricket South Africa's domestic transformation selection policy. Kaizer Chiefs coach Nasruddin Nabi says Amakosi must play their remaining matches with a cup final spirit. Orlando Pirates coach Jose Rivero was full of praise for his goalkeeper shoeshine after his steering role in the Nedbank Cup quarter-final penalties win over SuperSport United.
Well, definitely a lot's been happening, and I've seen as well some of the comments that you guys have been making on social media alluding to the fact that shoeshine is definitely safe hands for Orlando Pirates now. And I really would love to hear from you, Brian Mike. I mean, when you look into Orlando Pirates and, of course, after the unfortunate death of Senzo Meyiwa, now there was that gap. When you look into Sipho, do you think he's filling up that gap that was left by Senzo?
The Pirates have been very good in recruiting. You look at shoeshine, the way he has played. You know, I never thought we had such physically well-built goalkeepers. Because if you look at how a little bit shorter was Senzo Meyiwa, Itumele Nkune. So those one had prepared us that we seem like we don't have as big as shoeshine. But I think it's a very good recruitment. You can see even the reserve goalkeeper there.
Yeah.
So Pirates are in a good space now. And we're just very proud that, because that helps our national team as well, because that is always knocking, is always being there. But he's just started now, but you can see the people he's competing against in the national team. It shows his quality because he's always there, even in the four goalkeepers in the lineup, in the Bafana, he has been there even now.
And I mean, influencer, then when you look into the rest of the keepers in the league, I mean, you've made a strong stance about Veli Motwa on how you believe he fumbled it in the national team, and now he has to work his way back into being trusted again. Talk to us about the keeping in South Africa, in your opinion.
Yeah, I think interestingly we had a discussion with Andre Arendse last week, and he touched on this issue of goalkeepers, that we're not producing enough. Currently in the league now, you don't really have a good crop of young goalkeepers coming through. Obviously, we have got Ronwin, we have got Sipho, we've got Sage Stevens at Stellenbosch. There's a young SuperSport goalkeeper at SuperSport. You have got Vuma at Chiefs, who's actually doing well. So those are the guys that are there now. But I mean, he was talking about the fact that we need to keep on producing them, because goalkeeping is a very tricky department. But though he's happy with what we have, the worry has always been who is our real number two.
Yeah.
If Ronza is not there, we tend to struggle. We've experimented with Veli Motwa, who really didn't grab his chance. We have got Chain now. I think probably maybe it's our second choice. We've got Sage Stevens, who's doing very well at Stellenbosch. So it's not all too bad, but we can do more. But we really need a strong, reliable number two. At club level, shoeshine has done very well for Pirates. I mean, just over the past weekend, 7-2 penalties to help Pirates to go through. It's a sign of a good keeper. But I think he needs to push himself a little bit more. Yeah. Vuma also achieves, he's doing very well.
Yeah.
With more games, he can really try and force his way maybe to become number 2 or number 3 for the national team.
And I mean, on that note, when you then talk about producing, you also have to think about then how you scout the talent, how you watch the talent, where do you know the talent is? And this is my question now to you, Bra Mike, because back in your days, Aguna TV, like you're watching football through a radio, and a radio that uses a fork, I believe, just to make sure that you get the right channel. So talk to us about, having to make sure that the talent is brought in and you know who's being around back in your days. And how did a Clauiee, who's all the way in Mpumalanga, know about Nanana Take Me Home?
You know, we're lucky in the past as well, because, professional football was played mostly on Saturdays. And then the Sundays were reserved for amateur football. So it made professional teams to be able to go and watch the games of amateur on a Sunday. So that as well made us to be spotted. You know, people like Pine Chabed, who was at Moroka Swallows, they were very good in going to get younger players on Sunday at amateur level, like he got Ace Mnini. So they were able to do that. But now, given that it has changed, it makes it a little bit difficult. But the clubs, you can see that they are working so hard. If you look at the number of young players coming through, you look at even at Orlando Pirates, the players, you look at the players at Sundowns, and you also look at Chiefs. Chiefs in their juniors, they've got, but they work hard. They've got scouts. They go here and here. But Sundowns goes more because they use a lot of scouts. So they believe in that, and they are getting repaid in the sense that you can see now there are younger players like Bomalibonge Khoza, they are already there. Pirates have got unbelievable youngsters, Bolebukhile, and Mfukeng, and Kota, like you can see that it's working so well, even though there's a clash of games between amateur and professional, but the professionals are very able to do that, but they can do more because we still have a lot of players who are very good at amateur level.
Mike, let me test my memory. Goalkeepers during your time. Separate Mahala Maiman. With Peng Aces. Potente Shella probably at Kaizer Chiefs. Shadrach Bemba at Amazulu. Nigel Dixon at Umtata Bushbucks. Deshi Baktawa at Akira Shepherds. Those were the quality of goalkeepers that were there.
So you only know 5 in that memory?
Some
And he leaves Mark Anderson.
Mark Anderson at Sundowns. Lisilurula.
Oh yes, great goalkeeper. But even before then, there was Petson Banda.
Kamuzu.
There was Banksy Tlodi. There was, like you look at in Durban, Frederick Mfeka for Amazulu. So and they were a group, but Cyprian was fitting into that as well. But Petson Banda had been the face at Swallows. There was Jimmy Benne. So the goalkeepers, but I think we need to work more, as you said, we need to have more, even though we've got Goss from Supersport as well, who has come in, has played well, has been injured for the better part of the season. Hence, the youngster at Supersport came and played. So, but I think we need to have all these guys to be brought in and have them as talent identifiers. They go to like there's Farouk Abrahams in Cape Town. He's got a school of goalkeeping there. Is trying his best as well there. So once we can get our people to do, we can be able to get more.
No, definitely.
We definitely would be able to. On that note, my favorite feature on the show, Star of the Week. We'll start with Bra Mike because I'm afraid that Mahlatse might steal Bra Mike's Star of the Week. So, Bra Mike, who has impressed you in the past few days?
He was very nice to me. He says that I must choose first.
I'm always accused of stealing people's Star of the Week.
But you were nice to me. I was very impressed about Mbogazi, the centre back from Orlando Pirates. I looked at the age and they look at the calmness. He's so matured, and you can even think, maybe it's not his age, but it's his rightful age. And we've got this type of players who are as big as him. But at times, because most of us are short and not very big in size, we start suspecting. But that one you can see that this is the player. So I could see the goal he scored as well, and he's strong, but also he's technical. He's a player who's strong. You expect him just to go on people, to be tight on them or very hard on them. But this one has got a good technique as well. Very impressed about him.
Talking about the age, Bramek, I mean, if you juxtapose and look into rugby, more and more high school kids now, especially the forwards, the props and the hookers and the locks, they're big boys, and Sometimes you can be mistaken that it's not their age, but it's actually their age because these kids, they grow big these days.
Absolutely, and we lose a lot of players. We were used to getting the big ones. Now they've gone to rugby. You see how big they are. All of them, if we trace back, they've been footballers before. But I still believe that there is enough of big boys in South Africa. If you go more to the rural areas, because you can see Mbokas where he comes from. So we are only looking only in the townships. Once we can put more focus away from in the rural areas, you look at Matoho when he came from Limpopo, was a big boy, you know, like, and we got him very late. If we had got him a little bit earlier, he could have been a better player, although he was one of our best players.
100%. Influencer, what about you?
Yeah, no, I'll leave that to Mbokazi to Mike.
Thank you very much.
I think the Bafana Chan squad.
Ah, yes.
I think they did it very well for qualifying for the next round of the Chan qualifiers. I was very impressed with Aiden McCarthy, Fabian McCarthy's son. I think he has been knocking very, very hard on that Chiefs door now. They must give him an opportunity. He's also another, calm. You can see the football genes in him. Very, very good footballer. And also Neo Mayama from Sundowns. I believe he may be having some trouble there at Sundowns. Maybe he may leave. Because clearly, looking at the way the team is shaping up now, I don't think he will have more opportunities. But he has shown to the coach now that maybe the coach may have to reconsider and give him an opportunity to play. He played very well, they're experienced. He knows the continent because of Champions League stuff with the club. So, yeah, those are the two players who caught my eye for the team. But generally, the Bafana Chan squad, it was a hastily arranged camp, and, the trouble with Chan is always there. But to go and beat Egypt, which is always difficult, is something. So, let's hope they finish the job in the next final round of qualifiers and we go to the tournament.
100%. And then, well, my star of the week is an absolute shocker. I can't believe I'm about to say this either, but I just have to give it to Manchester United.
Okay.
I was absolutely thrilled by what I saw at the Theatre of Dreams. And I mean, making sure that Arsenal dropped points, kudos to United. I mean, you look at a Casemiro who he still has the engine to manage to play throughout. The game was impeccable. Yes, he had mistakes, but then you also have to look into Bruno Fernandes. So I'm really here. I'm not a United fan, but I was pleased to see the performance.
She's saying this because she knows I'm an Arsenal fan. But we'll talk about this off air. This is a problem.
Oh, is this an in-house issue? Do we need counselling now?
It's a serious problem, Mike.
Yes.
We'll talk about it off air.
He's joking, bro, Mike.
Sure.
But I mean, from Mike, when we bring it back to you and I mean your journey throughout football, we'll start with the fact that when you got to, of course, Wits from that 50 rand that you were getting, but it didn't matter to you because you were just there because it was a dream to be a professional footballer. Talk to us about when you got there, or Mtagama as well, or Mike Mangena, who played a big role in your career. To say, I mean, I think at some point you said that he believed in you more than you did in yourself. So talk to us about that relationship as well.
Oh, yes. The money, the 50 rand was just, I just wanted to taste how to play professional football.
Yeah.
The money was not an issue. Whether it was 50 rand, which was a lot of money by then.
What would you equal it to now, currently?
I'm not too sure. I think it's about, I'm not too sure. I don't know.
But estimate.
Over 1,000 rand.
Over 1,000, okay. I think, thank you.
Yeah, see, a young person there.
Yes.
A young person is shocked.
Yeah, so that was, the money was just a cherry on top.
Yeah.
But just to play with those guys, because I had grown up watching Abo Pesimuloi, watching Abo Keizam Taung, watching Abo Tenten Zimande, Mlungi Singubane, and so I just said I want to play this, and I had gone to Kaizer Chiefs and I failed the trials. I went to Highlands Park, I failed the trials, and I said now I'm going to go and watch a training, and I went to watch a training at Wits, and I saw Mike Mangena there. I said, hey, Mike, please go with me after training. Yeah. And then said, Mambosh, I'll go with you. And then he told Wits that I'm a good player, and Ronnie Slosh, younger Ronnie Slosh came, and then he said, come and train with us. I said, no, I'm not a good player. He said, no, come. I said, I don't have boots. He said, no, we have. Then I went inside there. They gave me the boots. And
Your size 7 boots.
yeah?
Your size 7.
My
soccer.
7 boots.
Yeah.
And I, for the first time, I saw a warehouse, a
Yeah.
small warehouse in a club. That I thought if everyone takes his boots home, there's nothing remaining.
Yeah.
And so and then I played there, I trained with it, and then they were very impressed about me. And then they said they will sign me for the reserve team. I was not too happy about that, but I stayed there for 3 months. Mike Mangena was pushing me, and then after 3 months, they signed me to play professional, which I was very happy.
Sure.
No, but how was that environment? Obviously, Vets was a
Yeah.
white team.
Yeah. I was shocked with Ish, because when I went there, I was not too sure how the reception, like but I was very surprised that, because at that time it was the height of apartheid at the time, but the guys were very nice, and most of them have been playing football for about 2-3 years in the league with other races, other blacks or Indians. So for them, they were not seeing you as a black. They were looking at you as a player. They check whether can you play, can you help us. So I was very surprised, but that has changed my life. That experience of non-racialism has stayed with me ever since that time, because seeing the reception.
I don't know, the other person who may have been very key there at Vets, I don't know if you found him or he found you, was George Mohozi. Another unsung hero for football in this country.
Yes, George from Rockville. He's a guy from Rockville, and he's from Hungry Lions. So George, he found me there. But he stayed over, I stayed for 5 years. George stayed over 20 years there. He's an institution in terms of how he has welcomed young players from the township and young players from the suburbs as well. They all know him because of the contribution he made into the club. So, these are the people who are the unsung heroes of our game, who have contributed to our football as well, because they looked after us as security at times. Security at that time were like officials, it was not like a guy who carries a nobkiri only. Those are the guys who could advise you. If you want to go, if you go astray, they will stop you. They will say, hey, you don't do that. Yeah. You have to do, so, and because they were older than us, or, and we used to respect them. And we're very lucky about David Tidiela in terms of what they did for us in football as young players, not necessarily because he was from Kaizer Chiefs, but he was everyone, a young player who's gone some way wide. But we knew that he was a cop, and now when it comes to you, I'm about to be arrested now. Really. I must stop this. If he says, if he advises you, you take the advice seriously.
When you then talk about the security, I'm reminded of, when now the NSL started, of course, then the glamour boys love peace is what they bring about. They bring the glamour into their outfits, and then Ezimnyama Ngenkani, of course, they've got that pansula, that gangster look going on. Talk to us about that, and really what's memorable from that time, when just also how those two clubs are growing into the league.
Yeah. No, because of my parents coming from Orlando, I was more to Orlando Pirates.
Black and white.
So and then so I liked Orlando Pirates. But when Kaizer Chiefs was formed, it changed the game, because they came with styles, man. They came with the hippie style, where they're wearing the bell bottoms and the shirts which are like this, and and Afro hair, and they had a very lovely slogan, which is still there, love and peace. At the game, at times the Pirates guys, when you are going out after Pirates has lost the game, they want it was fighting going out of the stadium. But when Chiefs came, they brought class into the game, we even knew the lineup of Kaizer Chiefs was fashionable at that time because of but also of Orlando Pirates because I was a supporter.
Yeah.
We always knew the people who used to play until very late in their age. So we knew the lineup for about 3, 4, 5 years.
Sure.
Just to enter there, Bram, on Kaizer Chiefs, was it apparent at that time that this will become really a big thing? Because Chiefs really went on to become a big institution.
It was big from the beginning.
Sure.
From the beginning, as they were the Kaizer 11. These guys were, like I used to know Ryder Mfukeni, Gerald Dlamini, Bully Uhoko, Buk Makwati, Ojeki Masike, Pro Hongwane, Computer Lamula, Ace Nswelengi, Peter Mkotedi, Teenage Lala, Biza Dlamini, Herman Pelle Blask,
Malombo.
Malambo Dichaba, the Tika Jazz.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know that Doctor got the 15 jersey from Malombo Dichaba.
Yeah.
They don't know that.
Yeah, Malombo was another person. I used to play, when I was playing for Vets, Malombo was in the field of the, you understand? Because Swenya mo, Kapa wena san. So wetsang mo. Like when you look at him, this guy is big and he's wet. This guy, you are scared of him. But he was not like that type of person who will do that. But he just wants to scare you. Who fitly go ground you. But he was a great guy.
And I mean, when you're then talking about Kaizer Chiefs and really from the get-go, knowing that they are going to be an institution, when you look into the league currently, I mean, we've seen Mamelodi Sundowns running away with the league so many times. Now, the state of South African football, in your opinion, and really with a lot of fans saying that Sundowns are in the league of their own and everyone else is just trying to catch up. Talk to us about the rest of the I mean, we're seeing Pirates, yes, now. They're trying to catch up with Mamelodi Sundowns, but you do need the other teams as well to make it more competitive.
Yeah, in South Africa, you need a strong Sundowns, a strong Pirates, and a strong Kaizer Chiefs.
Yeah.
Then your football become even stronger because they compete with other teams very well. So I would think that waiting for Kaizer Chiefs to be as strong as it was before. So we also even pray for them.
Yeah.
Because that is good for our football, Because if you look at it, Kaizer Chiefs and Pirates are maybe the only teams which you can say in each and every street of South Africa there is a Kaizer Chiefs and a Pirates supporter. So, and if you look at that and you say, if Chiefs lose for a long time, how many people are unhappy in South Africa?
That's a lot.
And we can't have a situation like that where a lot of people are unhappy. We must also maybe try and pray for them so that obviously they can win, even maybe even beat maybe us at if like we qualify for the semi-finals of the maybe so that they can have that because it's in the same country. Maybe I'm making it like I'm mocking them. I'm not. I'm just worried about that, to be honest.
What do you think they need to do? I mean, from your observation, I mean, you've seen how clubs are run throughout, from Wits and going to Mamelodi Sundowns, seeing also administration changes. Talk to us about what you think Kaizer Chiefs need to do to get it right.
Sundowns, from in the past when Zola Mahobe bought the club, it has always been rising. They've been lucky that they've had people with a lot of money and who had invested in the club, like Zola, like the Krog brothers together with the Chiklas and at now Patrice Motsepe. And they've invested a lot of money in the talent identification. You see Sundowns, if you can look as to how they've grown in regards, they go to Brazil, they look at the players there, and they bring them back here. So one of the things, like, we need a little bit more money within the Kaizer Chiefs. And because if you would say they've got a lot of money, but you can see Sundowns have got obscene money. The money is not money which you can worry about tomorrow. They have that, but it's a business approach. If you look now that they've qualified for the World Cup, Club World Cup in America later this year, we can see the amount of money they are going to get there. Because if you invest a lot of money into the game and invest correctly and have right people in the club, from Pitso Musimane, Rulani, and now the new coach and the new sporting director, you can see in terms of how much they've worked to make the club to be where it is. And those are the things. Who else has got a sporting director to be able to have that knowledge? You see the knowledge which the guy can see, how he recruited Ribeiro. If you look at that story, you can see amount of work and how he got the new coach as well. So you need that, but Chiefs is still coming. I only hope they can come. And Pirates have been always building, but they build differently. They build locally, but they are smarter. They know how to get that player and all that. But it works for Pirates, because you can see how strong they are. As this year when it started, we thought when we were going to play Pirates. I thought Pirates low region this time. When I look at it, I said, yo.
Yeah, they started well.
They play well. But now as you look at us now, you can see, there's no chance. No, this time they can't. Yeah, sure.
Sure. I mean, influencer, just to quickly get your thoughts on this one, very briefly, without you going too long. You look into Formula One and you see that there are budget caps within the teams, just to try and level up the, of course, in terms of fair play within the drivers, so that everybody can try and catch up. Do you think that something like that should be introduced possibly in the league in South Africa?
Sure. I think it can be a way to try and level up the playing fields, because, I mean, as Bramek is saying, Sundowns have got obscene amounts of resources financially. And I mean, when you go to Sundowns, you leave the players. The people around the players are as many as the players themselves.
That is true.
The support staff and all those things. And those people are highly qualified people who get paid a lot of money. Players also, I mean, they recruit overseas, and these guys come here, they earn a lot of money. Maybe going forward, that would be a way to try and say, let's have salary caps, where in a way maybe clubs can compete on an equal footing. But I think we are still very, very far from getting there. And if things continue the way they are now, unfortunately, I think Sundowns will continue to make it, because besides the fact that they've got money, they supplement that with a lot of planning. There's a lot of planning that happens around there, and it's something which you can arguably say you don't find it at most of the clubs.
Maybe let's find out why Mike was laughing while you were saying that. Salary cap, what do you think of that?
I think if I talk like I'm not on TV, like I'm sitting with you, I said that rule will be made for us. It will affect us a lot more than the other clubs. So, but I think in Europe they do that as well. It's so important for us to come up with those mechanisms, so that we are able to make sure that the business is profitable. Because if we spend more money without getting the money out of it, then that business is not profitable. So it's important as well, just because in Europe they are using it, although Man City is querying it and all that, but they've made it to be there. I think as well we need it in South Africa.
All right, let us know what you think. On that note, in case you missed it, last week we had a special episode where we were joined by Yapi Mutale, and of course, one of Mahlatse Mphahlele's favorite moments was discussed on the show, the Rondo at Sundowns. We'll also find out, of course, from Mike how Rondo was back in his days, but let's quickly find out what Yapi had to say.
It was Fire Masilela, Russell, Joas Mahlatse, they've got this thing here, when you are a new player, Fire will give you a hard pass. He wants to check. Yeah, he will say, oh, he come to Russell, he says, Itaka. Arge money. Orar mutago marotaloka. Yeah, umnati. Bawlela way to Uzola, Ataka Muzami. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, that man. And what? We training twice in the morning. We train, and after training, Clement Dostorov was saying, afternoon, I'm bringing the general.
Oh, yeah.
You see, pass, pa.
He said, you're just talking.
Yeah, we were just talking. And you can see even the confidence that man.
Yeah.
Because remember, when he arrives in the change room, they give him, I don't know what jersey number they give. Freddie gave him the other jersey. And then look at it like,
Sure.
110.
Thank you, General.
110.
Yeah.
And that time 10, Kia Ernest.
Chirwan.
Yeah, but he went for trial. You remember he was in trial at Argentina.
Yeah.
Yeah, before they signed him. He was in trial. They said, no. He said, no, 10.
Me 10.
Me
Finish.
10, me 10. Freddie, I have a responsible. What? Give him 10. Give him 10.
Don't fight with the man.
Don't fight with the man. Hey, now off his and he's huge. Ne?
Yeah.
He's wearing a boss's level. Now, I Russell 5. This one. Let me
I want to
check.
play Arabo.
Fire. Taka o. Let check. I haven't passed. When that ball is in Imomoyeng, then he hit it back. It went back to fire. After Tamulebel.
And not me, eh?
Counter fire. You know fire. Armor said, Atagamuki Chile. Amuki Ataman. Aratagamuki Ataman.
What to play Arabo?
And before they were saying, what criticized, decided to watch and Jaffa. Atagamuki Ajamu. Amuki.
Yeah, don't funny pass.
So, that was fun.
Yeah.
Well, do make sure, of course, that you go watch it if you haven't yet. But, bro, Mike, Rondo, special. I mean, we hear Yapi talking about it. Mahlatse tells me the story, I don't know how many times in a year, in a month, in fact, about when Roger was going to Sundowns.
I was told by Brashak's story.
Yes.
Talk to us about the Rondo when you got there and really maybe any tests that they brought to you.
Rondo has always been there, but we didn't have the name as Rondo because everyone, whenever the players are arriving in the training session before the coach could start, we start by sharing the ball and making another one to come inside to laugh at each other. So it has always been there, and we always also used to look at it. But I was very impressed about how Japi was explaining it, and I saw it in our WhatsApp group of the Legends of Sundowns. It was very, and it described Roger Fetumba the way I also knew him because when he was there, I was also there, and he was another player, man. You know, like I'm not too sure, but I still want to see a player at Sundowns who can play to that level. I saw Ace Kusa. Ace Kusa was something else when he was playing for Sundowns.
Yeah.
I saw Ernest Chirwali, but
Shoeshine piano, what you're naming there, eh?
yeah, but when Roger came, is something else. I only hope Libero, but Roger was not scoring a lot of goals.
Yeah.
You see, the Libero now is scoring, and plus is also playing well. But there are two different types, and in different times, it's not going to be easier to compare. But Rondo has always been a test of players who are arriving to say whether he knows or whether he doesn't know.
So whenever was a villager about
That's what I want to know as well.
Yeah,
let's check a language.
I was coming from Vets, you know, like, and at Vets, they always knew that Tina will kick people.
Yeah,
and so they knew but Lona can play, you know, so there was never that try. But everyone would go inside and we can test whether it's good or it's not good.
What was memorable, and it might not be in Rondo, but in terms of now your conversations, because you get there, Peter Msimane is also there. So, so what was memorable at your time at Sundowns in terms of what we might not have seen as the public, but within you as teammates?
You know, when we arrived at Mamelodi Sundowns, it was myself, Peter Msimane, Mike Mangena, then later Rabu Miripe, Ace Kuse. But when we arrived, we were welcomed by great players, the Walter Kutumela, Ngoma, yes, and Goma Busela, the player. Yeah, and there were players who were playing before. All that group, I would think, is the first generation in terms of me. But I know there's about the other groups, about Hearts and Singh and Smiley Musa and ABC Mutsepe. So those are the guys who started. But for us, we so much give respect to the guys we found there, because those are the guys, those are the pioneers of making Sundowns to be what it is. And we came there and we were welcomed, and we used to have good times with them, and go back to Mamelodi and go after the game. There will be, you know, the Mamelodi people are. That
I want to close to your heart, eh?
But let's go back a bit on that Sundowns thing. The key people there at that time must have been Braskrima, the late Braskrima, Trot, Trapa, Braspier, and Brashaks. Those were cooking behind the scenes. Just the influence that this man had on that team.
Oh, they've got so much. And Gamla Malewa. So you know, like those people, we took them like our officials. You know, like these are the guys, and they were older than us. You know, and they used to look after us. You know, like Brashaks with his shop there, they had to get the food and you look at that, but also the security guys, Brajo, Matimba, George, Diniso, you know. So and those people were like officials. You know, like they were not like Kosane. They used to, they used to look after us. So the club was built around Mamelodi. It was built around the people in Mamelodi. So. And everyone would come and do some of the things. About Majesty, they will come and be our messieurs before Abob Raspier Nabafiga. It's Screamer, but was something else, you know. Screamer man was the glue for all of us. And when Uzola was arrested, because he was the owner of the club by then. So, and then he was arrested, and then Braskrima became the father figure, the person who always look up to. And when he came, even with his playing, then it was something else. No, I enjoyed being at Mamelodi, you know.
And I mean, when you talk about Braskrima, part of the reason why you were converted, I mean, I know you played as a winger, but you also loved playing as a 10. But Braskrima was like, nah, bro, I need you as left back. Talk to us about also that conversation and how really it was also explained to you.
I didn't want even to play that left back. This guy. I'm playing 10 or 11. Now he's coming up with this thing of piano and shoeshine. He looks at me, he says, I must play left back. I said, no, man. Hey, the guys, man, they were talking to me, man. I man play, man. It's in the field. But I didn't want to play. But and I didn't know that he prolonged my career. because the number 10s who were coming at Sundowns.
Stuff.
No,
You're gonna go to the grandstand, eh?
I was going to the grandstand. I didn't realize that this guy is saving me.
Yeah.
You know, I realized way after.
Yeah.
And I said, Preston, thank you, man. You know, I would have finished my career a little bit earlier. And so I think that the beginning of that club, when Stan came up with the way we should play, and I'm happy that it has continued up to now, and they've got a point of reference. If they say we play like, you know, so that the creation was a philosopher, you know, to be like that, you know, and but I got it when he went overseas and all that. So, but I think the people in Mamelodi and the officials and the supporters were great.
Just to add there, Bra Mike, this shoeshine and piano thing.
Yeah.
I know he went to Italy sometime. He came back with him. How was it perfected among the players?
No, he looked for players who could play that system. Because as I was telling you that I went to left back because he wanted us to play from the back. So normally the defender said that at that time were not those who play from the back. There were players, not different players, like Mahlatse Mphahlele, Michael Ndanda. They were not the players who could attack the way I was attacking, taking the ball, be confident to play to the midfield, not to get the ball to put it forward.
Yeah.
So that was the philosophy. And when I was refusing to play left back, he even told me, I'm going to sign Alfred Chole. He was playing for Witbank Black Aces, a very good player, left-footed player, 11 as well, but then they take him. And all this, even now you can see most of the clubs, if you look at Mudiba,
Yes.
at Sundowns,
Yeah.
you can see that it has got that resemblance of he can play even as a 10 or as a 11. And so that thing has stayed at Sundowns, and you look at all the type of players. They've got a young one now who's playing now, Tikwani, plays
Yeah,
well.
Tiwani, yeah.
You see, you can see Gutinai, he's got the coach has realized that this is the way to play, but obviously, and then even at right back, that's why you found that there was Sizwe later, but Iwi as well could play start from the back and in the midfield, and the ball must go to the midfield because we had Ace Kuse.
Yeah.
That's Mr. Pian. So, and that guy, when it goes to him, it starts from Rabbi Muripe, and then when it goes to Ace Kuse, it was something else, and then we still have Jesu Queen on the right.
Jesu Lagudura.
And then we've got Harry Strew on the left before Zane came. And then when Ace left, we had Ernest Chirwali. And you know, and Bennett Masinga in the mix as well as a 10 up front there, and then and Love Chafunya and Chicha, and later Eric September. So and that type of football was that screamer which he brought to the club. But the full backs were very important, and the centre backs. Lucky Mulife, if you look at Lucky Oshkosh was one of the best passers of the ball. If you wanted to pass and the weight of the ball must be this type of weight, Lucky could do that. If you want to clip a ball to a striker, he will do that. If he wants to pass it to the midfield, bypass me as I come back, he could do that.
Yeah.
So the centre back, as a person who starts the ball, was very important. Even though Brix Mdao was there, as a person who fights for other balls when we're heading, but Lucky Mulife would be doing that. You can see now we've got the Kekana. You can see the way he plays. You've got Mvala is like Brix. You've got the one from Suarez now. He's come in as well. He's got both that one. He can tackle, but also he can pass the ball. So you can see. So the recruitment has been very key in making sure that the club resembles how it was before.
Yeah. And I mean, on that note, you also then have to be interested about development. I mean, we could sit here for 4 hours talking about memories, of course, at Mamelodi Sundowns. But I'm also interested, Bra Mike, in terms of the development. And I ask this because I know Thulani Hlatshwayo and Thulani Serero, you must have a liking for Thulani, it's clearly. But
Yes.
talk to us about, the development, the players that they were, and really your role also. I mean, you've gone into coaching. So let's talk about that area in your life and really what you've seen and where they are. Your Thulanis, both of them. I mean, Thulani Serero
Yeah,
is
yeah.
back and
Creme
Tyson
de la
still
creme.
doing well.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, development is very important, and all the clubs are taking it very seriously.
Yeah.
If we can be honest now, we look at Pirates, we look at Sundowns as well. We've got players now at Sundowns who are coming in, breaking into that team which has got stars.
For sure.
But they're making their statement as young people, Pena, and look at Pirates, look at Chiefs as well. Chiefs are even stronger in development. I'm a little bit surprised in terms of how they are not strong in the first team. But I would think development is the future.
Yeah.
If clubs want to have a long life, they need to spend a lot of money on development and have the right people at development as coaches and all that. And so I think it's so important. I was lucky to get Serero when he was 13.
Sure.
I took him to Ajax, and then he played for Ajax, and then he ended up going overseas and all that. Thulani Hlatshwayo when he was 14, turning 15, and Clifford Ngobeni when he was 11. So, and send them to smaller clubs.
Yeah.
Because in the smaller club, they can play more there because the pressure is not much for the results and all that. It's a different formula. But to find the big clubs now playing the young players is quite impressive, because those were there in the past, about Jabu Pulu, if you check when they came to Chiefs. And you can see about Steve Likweleya, and the time they came there. So we need to go more. We need to go and spend more money in development. And also one thing which is very important, schools. You were talking about rugby, how rugby does it more with the schools. And it's structured along that way. And because most of the kids, they spend more time at school. So we have to go back. The SAFA is always starting. You had the under 15 interprovincial. We need to get to a situation where we have got the under 13 interprovincial so that they start early and then they can be able to grow.
Ramak, you're a Soweto man through and through. Are you happy with Soweto football from grassroots? And I know they are producing sporadic players here and there, but we don't really see the top class quality that was produced in the past.
One of the things which is important, the Football Association in Soweto is perfect. We've got the right guys in good position. We've got a Soweto Football Association. Bobrafil. What we do there, there's a lot, but what affects that is this gambling games. The gambling games are killing our football. A lot of talented players, they end up not playing in the clubs which could be playing in the league. They play for those tournaments where they play for money every time. And when young people should not be knowing money, imagine me, I was just after 20, I only got 50 rand. Bona, they are given money at time before they go and play. But we can't blame those guys. Those guys they're seeing that we are sleeping as people in football. That's why don't we make football as attractive as it was before? Because the games, if you watch their games are more impressive. It's a way of life. It's a lot of people, a lot of girls, like it become a festival. And we need to go back to the drawing board and be able to start and make it very interesting to play organized football. It's our fault. It's not the people in the gambling game. It's the fault of us in football, because I'm still in football. I'm with Nanana Ghana's with under 9, 11, 13, 15, 17. So I'm still there in that space as well. So we are trying as well in Soweto now to start up with a tournament. We had one last year, and Far Post, as a newspaper as well, came in with a tournament, and And so those are the things which you must use so that you are able to produce the type of players which you used to produce. You're so correct, yeah, sure.
And then on that note, I mean, we do know that there's also other things that you've managed to do throughout your career, not only being a footballer, an author, to also working for one of the best brands, in my opinion, in the country, where you, of course, were the football manager at Adidas, and also looking into, of course, then also you being a coach. The evolution, really, what I want to find out is, did you always know when you were a footballer that you wanted to tick everything in football? Because administration, everything, you're there.
No, I didn't. I would start something, for example, in a club. When I restarted Snawane Ghana, a player asked me, "Man, can you start a club?" I said, no. And then I ended up starting it. And within a year, I've got players, I don't know how to be an agent. I don't even know what is that.
Oh, yes, agent as well.
I then became one for Tulane and Tulane, but I didn't know what is to be. I said, okay, I know how to father kids. I'm going to be strict on this, boys. It's an easy way. And then ultimately I got better and better with them.
Yeah.
And because money was not the reason why I was with them. The only thing I like to help them, to see them play professional, because to play professional football, it's another experience, you know. And when you get that experience, and once you can have that experience, there are so many opportunities. I've realized as well that I might as well. I'm going to start in the business of content of what we're doing here, because I do have I have got boys. I have to do my documentary.
So you're a content creator.
Yeah.
Go.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're starting very
that.
soon. We launch.
Oh, that's good.
Keeping
Yes,
up with the
that's
times.
why
you've got lots of
we
stories,
saw a
Bra Mike.
camera and all that, you know.
Yeah, lovely guy, by the way.
Yeah, so this is what, yeah. So that's why I was saying I'm happy that you advised Cheese Boy to be there, look at how he's doing now. And these are the opportunities which are there. You know, like, so you don't have to, as long as we can learn, as long as we can, Mahlatse, they can advise us, because they are in that space, and we can also become people and make a living out of that.
I can't wait for your first episode and who is the legend going to feature there. There will be lots of stories, I'm sure.
We
We'll
are
definitely
looking
be
forward
watching.
to it, indeed. And then football, Adidas, how that came about, sponsoring players also. How was that job that you had to fulfill?
Yeah, it's a funny one. I had in 1998 I went to apply to be a coach, a national under-20 coach.
Yeah.
They interviewed me, and they told me that I'm the front runner. After a week, they told me, no, you must be an assistant coach to Shakes Mashaba.
Okay.
And then they said I'm an assistant there. And then I was working with the under-23s. Come December, I'm told, go and apply. There's a position. Adidas is going to be the sponsor of SAFA. So go and apply. I went and applied. And on my day to go for an interview, you cannot even believe this.
You were wearing a different
I
brand?
met at the hotel, in the car. Somebody I hear, "Escaper." Who's this? This voice is familiar. It's Ivan Kors.
Sure.
And he says, and then he says, "You're good enough for that position."
Wow.
And that was, and when I came to that guy of Adidas who was interviewing, he was telling me, why everyone has got so much confidence in you that you can do this job. And then I said, who are those? He says, many people, I won't tell you. And I didn't tell him that I would know. I met someone. I don't know whether, because by then Pirates was still sponsored by Adidas. So,
Yeah.
so that came like that, and they said I can stay in my position as an assistant coach. And because I was part-time, I said, no, I can't. I'm resigning from there. They said the under 23 players, about Penny and Sticker, Matthew Booth, that group, they were so disappointed that I left the under 23. But I felt that I wanted to give it time. I don't want when there are no soccer boots for the player and they find out Mike Ntombela is gone with the under 23 something, they will say, that guy does not care about his job. He's worried about coaching. Then I said, it's very important for me to concentrate. Okay, it's a good job, but it brought me, that job. I identified a lot of players,
Yeah, that's
to
what I want
be
to find
sponsored.
out, yes.
To be sponsored, Andile Jali, Mahlatse Mphahlele,
Sure.
and these are the players, Thulani Slachawayo, Thulani Srero, and I was getting to know all the players, and because Adidas expected me to identify talent for them, to sponsor the players, like if you see now the sponsoring of players. So I was doing that, and I was doing that in development. My office would always be full of players. Even if Adidas didn't have enough money, I would give them the boots. They give the boots. I say, hey, come and take the boots. But they will leave me when they've got another sponsor from the others brands. But they will come and explain to me, Mike, and now, do you have money to give us? No, I don't. They said, no, we're going. But I'm like, okay, no problem. But we're still friends, ne? They said, yeah, no, we're friends.
Yeah.
So that job came like that, and I spent a lot of time in that, and I did a lot of things. And referees, I used to
Yes,
sponsor
they're
the
quite close
referees.
to your heart, yeah.
And referees, I used to go to their functions before they start the season, see there when they do their fitness test, and ask them what is it which they want. And one of the things they complain about is, why are you giving us stuff which is made in South Africa, and when you go to ref in international, we get international stuff from Adidas? It's not the same.
How did you answer that?
But I ended up making sure that we import the referee stuff. I made sure that the School of Excellence, because Pirates was also receiving the staff from overseas, I made sure that the School of Excellence received the staff, because it was a program of SAFA.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't, because they will ask me, I'm a Reboni Pirates, it's Amada. Why am I appearing towards And then I go to a sales conference of Adidas. I stop a conference. No, man, why this, man? And they said, what do you want? I said, I want so many shorts, so many water. They said, okay, we'll wait for you for a budget, and we'll work it out. And then they knew that I was just passionate about making sure. And the School of Excellence is a perfect example of how something can produce so many players. That's an institution. It's unfortunate that we haven't looked after it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that needs a show on its own.
It definitely does. It needs another hour, no?
Yeah.
But I mean, I want to talk about the referees a bit, because you're one of the very few players that, the last time I checked, you can't recall getting a red card. And I find that quite shocking, to say the least.
No, I never got a red card. I never got a red card. The only time where I was close to it, I got 3 yellow cards. By then, you had to have 4 yellow cards.
Yeah.
And I got them, that's at the beginning, the 3rd yellow card. But I played up to the end of the season. But I used to be a leader of my team. And then if a player, my player is giving trouble to the ref, I will speak to the player in front of the ref. Yeah, you can't do that. Why are you doing that? So you're helping the ref inside the field as well. Because as a leader, you need to make sure that your players, they behave, because this game is played, it's just got rules. It's not your anyhow the way you want. They sit down and make the laws of the game, and we must follow the laws of the game. And okay, I was not bad to my players, but I will tell, hey, referee right through. Now when you're a good player, don't. Ground busy.
I see your introduction from other players helped you out. But lastly, before we have to go, Mike, a big fixture coming up this weekend. It's Orlando Pirates taking on Mamelodi Sundowns. Talk to us about your expectations. Who's going to stand out, the key players as well. I know, I see what you're wearing, but I'm hoping that you're going to try and just give us a fair opinion on the game.
No, I'm scared of Orlando Pirates because it's a very good team, and they've assembled a very, very good team. And it's going to be a very tough game.
Yeah.
But Sundowns wants to win the league. Sundowns must win the league. And the only way they can make things easier for themselves, they have to beat Pirates. And it's not going to be easy. This is going to be one of the toughest games we'll have this year.
One of the things, Mike, is that Champions League is resuming very soon. So it will be Sundowns' advantage to get as much points as they can in the league, in the bank. So that when Champions League starts, full attention is on the Champions League. And the good thing for them also is that I think they're picking at the right time. And also the return of Rondo, I'm told is back now. Probably by the time the Champions League comes, we'll have played enough matches. His full fitness will be there. Kuliso is back. I think Mvala will probably be back. They will be at full Temba. He's back training now. So when Champions League resumes, they will be much stronger. Pirates, also for them, I think they will hope that most of the guys who are in injury now are back. Because if, for an example, you go to the knockout stage of Champions League with a team that played against SuperSport, I'm just not sure. They are too thin. But they've done it up to so far. I was concerned about them in the beginning of the season, saying that maybe lack of experience may cost against them. But
He's putting it mildly now, bro. Mike. He said they were
You
not going to
cried.
get far.
you grind results.
Pirates were, if you look at how they started, you must remember they went on pre-season to Spain. I saw them playing Granada. I said, wow, this team is going to win the Champions League.
Sure.
And it's possible now. I mean,
You know, at that time, and as we started, we had our own issues. The coaches, what, and they look stronger, and obviously the appointment of the new coach has brought stability, and has brought the club to be much better. So, and this is the confidence we have now, because at the beginning we were not that strong. So I would think it's a good thing that the two teams are playing and the two teams are representing us in Africa, and I so wish that. If we were to play, I'm not too sure. I've forgotten how it has been paid. That at the end we can play a final.
We may meet in the final, yes.
Yes, to meet in the final, that will be great for our country, and obviously that will allow another space, I think, for another team to go to Champions League. So this is Pirates. It's a team which we all, even Sundowns players, Sundowns former players and supporters are saying we must beat you here, but please continue rising in CAF.
And it will be a test for this Mboka as a kid against Sundowns. I think we'll really see what it's made of. It will be a biggest test, and hopefully he does well. If he does well in a big game like this, confidence, and the sky will be the limit. Excuse the pun, but
Look at you being cheesy.
Champions League is a must.
Yeah, for Sundowns it's a must.
It's a must, but it's going to be difficult. We still have Esperance. That's quite a tough one.
And it's a team that this Cardozo was coaching last season.
Yes,
when they eliminated Sundowns.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting. But yeah, you are right, Bramak. The Champions League
It's going to be tricky, but we're looking forward to seeing how it then pans out. You let us know as well from home how you think this fixture, Mamelodi Sundowns and Orlando Pirates, how it's going to pan out, who you're backing as well. But that's how we'll wrap it up for now.
Can I say something before you go? In South Africa,
clearly.
in South Africa, we use the word legend very, very dangerously. This man is a legend in the true sense of the word. I leave it like that.
Would you like to respond, Brahma?
Not these other ones who play one season and then they're called legends.
Former footballers who become legends.
This He's a legend.
Thank you very much. There
All
are many
right.
legends as well.
Yes, they are. Nanana, take me home. And that's how we wrap it up. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one. Take care. Cheers. Goodbye.